Good evening. We have a special echoey version of Bad Lighting, Bad Stories featuring Amanda.
This is I'll call it an adaptation of a story I will say wrote a long time ago. For school, we had to write a scary story. And so I wrote about the namesake of the street that my grandparents live on. So the name of their street is called Footman Landing. And the story of the Footman is that in the Indian River between Merritt Island and I think Cocoa, people needed to ferry back and forth between the island and the mainland. And so the way that they did that, they didn't have any bridges, so they had a footman who rowed across the lake on a ferry. And so the footman would ferry people back and forth, and where he would land is what is now known as Footman Landing. This is where it gets spooky.
Ooh.
So the footman worked for a very long time. And when they finally built the bridge, he was a bit older, but he was very dedicated to his work. So when the bridge put him out of business, he grew very angry, and he wanted to carry on with his passion, but it didn't work out. So there was one evening when he was ferrying his empty boat across the river in hopes to find someone who wanted to be ferried across, even though there was a bridge now. A terrible water spout formed on the Indian River, and it capsized his boat, and he fell into the river, and he was in the very center, and he was too far from shore, and he couldn't swim there. So he tried desperately to swim to the shore, but he couldn't make it because he was just so old. He grew weary, and he drowned in the river. And they say that on stormy nights, you can still see the ghost of the footman slowly ferrying across the river, going towards Footman Landing.
Ooh. And this has been Bad Lighting, Bad Stories. I'll see you tomorrow.